Good morning, loves. It is a daily vlog time, and I think today I'm still working through and have been working through for the last few days. My, how did I just do that? My vlog, and I realized that I am starting to feel nervous. I'm starting to feel nervous because this living on my TikTok is one thing, right? This being on YouTube and available for public view is another thing. And it does make me go like, ooh, I'm nervous. And one of the things that I'm most nervous about is when you decide to live your life in front of a camera, whether you decide to act or whether you decide to kind of do social media, content creation, or even if you decide to just start to be around people who are doing it more, right? You start to, whether you want to admit it or not, like forfeit your right to like have privacy. People who do not do things like content creation, who are not putting themselves in front of cameras and things of that sort, they have a luxury. They can go through hard times that we all go through, and nobody has to add fuel to the fire in any way because they're just going through it on their own. When you make the conscientious decision, which I have made, to start to share your life and your experiences with other people in the world, you essentially open yourself up to be talked about. And I feel like because I don't have a huge following on TikTok, and I still don't have a huge following on YouTube, so it's not like it's just gonna happen overnight. But I think it was easier for me to kind of hide, the stuff that I was doing on TikTok because not a lot of people were kind of like as engaged. And I feel like putting this out here and sharing my YouTube link with people and having people subscribe and having them sit down and watch me talk about my life and essentially as some black folks say, tell my business. It is a scary thought. I have people who I'm no longer connected to who will see this and look for a reason to discredit me, look for a reason to speak down on my name, and I am nervous about that. I also realize that like that's gonna happen even if I don't do that. Like if I made the decision to keep teaching, whatever we do, we live in a digital age. No matter what you do, you're going to end up on somebody's camera in some way, facet, or form. Now, it might be small to compare to a person like myself who wakes up every day and does it. But at the end of the day, you're still going to have to deal with this. And people are still going to have their opinions of you. I'd rather do it and increase my chances of having money from doing it or even helping somebody else. Or just like I've been seeing in a bunch of these vlogs, like even if I don't get paid for it, but I'm putting it out in the universe that I want to get paid for content creation, being able to express freely has helped me so much. Being able to sit down every day for 3 to 9 minutes and just say how I feel since my life has changed has helped me. And I believe that even if this huge change didn't happen in my life, the fact that I was about to start vlogging anyway was going to be helpful. A lot of the things that came out of this vlog were conversations that I probably wouldn't have had I not given myself the courage to say the things that I'm really feeling outside of my head. This works specifically for me because I have a hard time communicating my grievances with people. I have a hard time communicating my grievances with people because in my brain, I can think of 5 reasons to be understanding and gracious of what people have done to me. If a friend hurts my feelings, I can think of 5 ways that I shouldn't be that mad about it. And I don't know why my brain does it. My brain literally will do it automatically. And because of that, it's very difficult for me to tell people I have a problem with you. Because I'll have a genuine problem, and by the time I get the nerve to say something about it, everything in my head has told me like it's not that big of a deal and we need to just relax. That has brought me to a situation where I have been in some friendships that should have ended years ago, where I have dealt with people emotionally and romantically that I could have walked away from had I had the courage to speak up. And so what I'm doing in this relationship, instead of just blindly running away and not saying anything, or staying and being abused and not saying anything, I am in this relationship choosing to speak up, and be real about myself, but then still stay and give this an attempt to work out. Like, I could tell that recently he's been kind of realizing, like, damn, like, she really was unhappy with me, because he keeps making like little comments about, like, I think it was like yesterday, I gave him a kiss and he was like, oh, today you love me, another day you want to leave me. And I'm like, no, I love you and I don't want to leave you, but if I'm not happy, I need to speak up about that. And he like, yeah, babe, I know, I'm just joking with you and messing with you. I'm like, yeah, but even when I'm being joked with, I have to ground myself and remind myself in this idea of, like, I didn't ask for anything wrong. I'm not asking you to be every man, just like I hope you're not asking me to be every woman. I'm asking you to be the man that I know that you can be, because you showed me this man. You was this man to win me over. You were this man to get me to move in with you. I've never done this. I've never cohabitated with somebody. I did, even with kids or no kids. I just don't do my preference to live separate from lovers. And the reason that it is my preference to live separate from lovers is because I like to have my own space, first of all. And I can't have grievances with people, right? So I don't feel comfortable telling you pick up your shit. I don't feel comfortable telling you to move your stuff, because you might want your stuff on the floor. And you have the right, in my mind, everybody has the right to do whatever it is that they want to do. You have a right to come in the house and just drop your shorts on the floor and let them stay on the floor and never touch them. And nobody should have to say nothing to you. But that's the reason that I think all people should live alone. Because I also have a right to want to be able to have a floor that is so clean that I can eat off of it. And I can't do that if I'm in a relationship with somebody who like leave their shit on the floor. And you can't leave your shit on the floor if you're in a relationship with somebody who gonna walk up behind you every 5 minutes and put it away. I know sometimes we get on each other's nerves. He'll get out of the bed and probably be about to get back into it, and I'll make it before he make it back into the room. And he's like, damn. Maybe he wanted to get right back into the wrinkles of the bed the way it was. I don't know. So I know that there is a lot of discrepancies there. And that was one of the biggest reasons that I didn't want to move in together. For us to get into this relationship and him to show me, like, no, I'm going to be compromising. We're going to figure this out. Like, I'm going to need you to compromise too. We're going to have this together. For that first year to be so successful, him working, us doing things and having a 2-income household and thriving, like going on vacation, enjoying ourselves, still having him spend time with his sons. This was beautiful. For it to get progressively worse and me not to say anything until now, like, I know that if I was doing something to the tune of vlogging or just daily journaling in a higher level at the beginning of our relationship, maybe I could have caught this before it's become so far gone. Because now it is pretty far gone, and now we have to pull it back. And I don't think that it's far gone to the point where we can't pull it back, but it really didn't have to get here, and I take some of that responsibility. And so, along with kind of the vulnerability of literally working on my relationship publicly, I'm just nervous about what this means as I shifted into a bigger platform like YouTube. But I also like calm my nervousness by saying, like, bitch, people gonna talk about you whether you do it or don't. People gonna have a problem if you fail or if you succeed, and I know that you want to succeed, so just do it. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been pushing forward, and it has been working out for me. But it does get vulnerable. It does get uncomfortable. Like, I love my man. I don't want nobody looking at him crazy just because I have to say my truth. Like, my truth is my truth. But at the end of the day, like, this is still my best friend. This is still somebody who means the world to me. So, like, watch what you say in them comments. I'm human, though. And if I have a goal from my corner of the internet, as I want my corner of the internet to be where people are reminded that we are all human and we regard each other as human first. So, like, I don't want anybody talking crazy to me and my family in the comments, even though I know that it's gonna come. But I feel like my response to that is going to be seeing them as a human first. Like, what made you decide to say that to me? And if they are just committed to ignorance, then, you know, that's where the block button happens. Or just ignore. Like, you keep on commenting because that's engagement and that eventually becomes money. But I don't have to engage with you. Or I'll keep on engaging with you from a positive place. Like, every time you tell me that I'm this, that, and the third, I'm going doom in the opposite direction, because that's just my choice. But this works for me. This outlet works for me. And it was creating a lot of nervousness because it's nothing like anything I've ever done before. And as I expand it and put it out on the internet even more, it's nothing like anybody in my family has done before. I I'm not gonna say I don't think my family approves, because I know my family supports me in whatever I do. If I'm happy, they're happy. But I do know that this has probably got my family looking at it like, ooh, you gonna say that? I remember after one of my vlogs, my sister got up under my story on my Snapchat and was like, are you sure this is okay for your life and your relationship? And it's like I told her, like, this works for me. This helps me hold myself accountable for talking to people and expressing myself. This isn't against anybody else. I'm not thinking about other people. I really am thinking about myself and what I need. And because of that, I'm going to keep doing it. It scares me often, but I am ready to be scared if being scared means that I go to another level. I know what this level feels like. I know what being quiet feels like. I know what letting it slide feels like. I know what sweeping it under the rug feels like. Now let's see what happens when we talk about it and we bring it to the forefront and we get help from people who I've never been able to, probably would have never gotten help from. And let's see how that works. I've already been connected with such amazing people via the internet, and I want to see more. I want to do more, and I want to network more. And that's kind of where my head is. Tonight I have pole dance class. My knee feels a lot better, but I am gonna put like a wrap on it, so it's, so I'm okay. But that's it. I got pole class tonight. I will be back tomorrow for our vlog. Nothing else is really going on around the house. Like I said, well-oiled machine. One person gets out, the other person gets out. I get to work. We all come in the house at the end of the day. Love that. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night. Well, day, actually.